y'all, it's your girl Lisa, and I am back with my boy
Brian, Mr. Parker.
my babe, Mr. Parker, and we are back with another Reflections video, dating after 40. So in this video, you guys, we will be talking about the marriage vow. Now I know I get this a lot. I don't know if you get it a lot, but I get this a lot.
Around you now.
Yeah, like we getting
started off so
close.
distant.
We getting so close.
Wait, your makeup.
I'm really falling for this guy. But anyway, so
for each other.
yes. So in my Instagram and sometimes through email, even on Facebook, I get a lot of questions about when are y'all gonna get married? That is your husband. And when y'all gonna get engaged? And blah 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 blah. And we have been seriously dating since September?
Early part of September.
Yeah, so early part of September that we've been seriously dating. So we haven't, just been dating that long, but God has told us that we are, he's mine and I am his. So I feel like God has told us that collectively. So, but people have been asking, when y'all gonna get married? Nah, nah, nah. And I just felt that it would be important that we talk about the marriage vow, because this is a serious thing. Like, it's not something that should be taken lightly at all.
Right.
So maybe this will help for people to pump their brakes and saying, when y'all gonna get married? You wanna get married? Like, I mean, not that we don't, we appreciate all the love and support and everything that we've been receiving since we've been dating, and not that we don't appreciate hearing that, because I do feel like that's where we're headed. But we want to date, court each other, take our time, before we get to that point. So the marriage vow is very important. It's very important to both of us. So we want to break it down so that you guys so that we all could just see how important the marriage vow really truly is. So we're gonna take it line by line, and we're gonna break this thing down and get a clear understanding of it all. So if that's something that y'all want to see, then
just keep waiting.
just keep watching.
Oh yeah, keep watching.
You keep saying keep watching. Y'all keep watching, okay? All right. So Brian's gonna break it down line by line. So let's go.
I think
First
we should
line.
probably go through it all and then maybe revert back and break it down.
Okay.
So we can just have a. So what we have, we Googled online. If you Google online marriage vows, you'll find this, and it's pretty much the standard vows. Even though we know that some people decide to create their own vows and they kind of do it that way. But for the most part,
I think that's neat too.
Yeah. Yeah, I want you to be creative. But
I will be.
but for the most part, these are like the standard vows that we hear about and we've known about over the years. So it says basically, I blank take you blank to be my wife or husband, to have or to hold from this day forward, for better or for worse, for richer or for poor, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, until death do us part, according to God's holy law. And this is my solemn vow.
Oh, we married.
You say I do?
I do. We married.
What would you do?
I got it on tape. We
I
married.
know this is Texas. You never know.
Yeah.
With these common law and these different laws. But anyway, it's all good.
It's a beautiful day in Texas today too.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
So I guess to kind of revert back and to just kind of do it line by line and just let y'all know we didn't really practice for this.
No,
we just
didn't.
pulled this up. We just decided to cut the camera on.
We did. It's so pretty out here. We just got home from church. I don't mean to cut you off, babe. I'm sorry. But it's so pretty outside. We just got in from church and we were talking about it. So I was like, let's just cut on the camera and just record it and let's talk about it. So here we go.
I'm interested to see what you have to say about this one.
Okay.
So it's I take you to be my wife or husband, to have and to hold from this day forward. We'll stop there.
We can stop there. So to have and to hold from this day forward, that means you are mine and only mine. You only holding and having me and nobody else from this moment forward. So I see that first vow is talking about, just being true and being faithful. That's what I hear.
Yeah.
When I hear that first vow. So what do you?
Well, I think what stands out to me is the part that says I take you, like I take you. So I think that's what stands out to me. It's like it's a vow that you are imparting on the person that you claim to love and that you feel you want to get married to. So I think the operative word is you, and to be my wife or my husband, to have and to hold from this day forward. And basically, they're saying it's not just like a temporary thing where we kind of get caught off in feeling like we can get married or we can decide to marry. And if things don't work out, then we'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
Basically, if we say this, basically we're this part is saying that basically from this day forward, I'm gonna have you and to hold you. And there's really no provisions, even though the Bible gives you provisions for divorce. But the mindset isn't to have a provision mentally going into marriage, to give up on it. So that's what I kind of get from this part of it. But then you have to ask yourself, will we consider these vows to be vows that we're making towards each other, or are these vows that we're making towards God? What do you think about that? Because when it says I take you to be my wife, it's not really clearly at this point saying whether or not these vows are to you. I'm committing myself to you, or am I committing myself to God?
I feel like
to hold you from this day forward?
I feel like you're making a promise to God. Like, I commit that I'm going to have this person. I'm going to hold on to this person. Like, God, I promise you.
Yeah.
I'm going to do right by this person.
All right, so I take you to be my wife or husband, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better or for worse.
Let's stop there. Okay, no, go ahead.
For better or for worse, for richer or for poor. Let's stop there.
We'll stop there. So I went first, so you go first this time. For better or for worse, for richer or for poor.
Well, I mean, I think the point is like, and this is the easiest part to conceptualize mentally. So the point is like you're supposed to actually see like beyond where you are. Usually when you meet somebody in a heightened state of emotional attachment or love, and before you make a commitment to that part, you're supposed to see like how things can be challenged, because people are going to grow older and situations are going to change in relationships. So it can be better now, it can be worse now. It may get better. But ultimately, the challenge for most of us is that we meet people at the best time in our lives, and then ultimately it starts to get worse. And that's where we have challenges, because we feel like we don't deserve to be in relationships that are challenging to us. So now, like, we feel like this ain't for me. I'm not happy here. And it's like, is happiness a real true reason to want a divorce? Like, aren't you interested in it? Do you feel like happiness is a real reason? Is that something you should expect to be in a relationship, happy? And if you're not, or if at some point you become unhappy in your relationship, do you think that's a reason to look at your partner and say, maybe we should consider, not technically get divorced all by itself in and of itself, but maybe we should consider separating or consider divorce because we're just not happy together?
Yeah, no, I think that's when you have the conversations. I think that's when you have the really, really, really deep conversations and you talk about it. Like, what is it that is causing you to feel unhappy? Like, let's see if we can fix that. So you go to the root of the issue and see if we can fix it. And if it's something that can be fixed, if it's like character traits or whatever, then you got to start, assessing that thing. Okay, like, can you stop doing this? Or can you change this about yourself or whatever? And I know we shouldn't go in asking someone to change who they are. But it's like, if there's a certain thing that's being done or a certain way that a thing is being done and that's bringing you some unhappiness or whatever, then we can sit down and we can talk about that. We can see if we can figure out how to change it. I feel like communication is the key, it's the foundation. I feel like it's everything. And even before all of that, before you go in talking and all that, pray about it. Like, pray about it. And, a lot of times in relationships, and I know that we should do a better job at that, praying together. But it's like, if you prayed together, like, that sends another emotion, like it's on a whole different level of like setting the foundation for your relationship. And then it sends off different endorphins. Like, it sends off something totally different when you pray together. So you have I guess like a sense of grace, and you're more open to hearing, and you're more willing to change when you're sitting there praying about it together. Like, you're easy, like you're more relaxed in the situation. So I would say pray about it first and bring prayer into it. If you got to come and pray about that thing 3-4 times so that it can get soft, so that it can be easier to discuss, then do that, and then see if you can work at it from there and do all those other things that I said and work on.
And then the one thing I'll add to that, and I think that's good, because it sends out into the atmosphere and it gets to God, that you trust Him to really guide and lead the relationship.
Yep.
But the only thing is, prayer is like a conversation that you're having with God about your situation, right? But when He sets certain principles in place through the scriptures, and we violate those principles, do we have the right to really want to pray to ask God to make our situation better?
I feel like we do, because God grants grace.
But even if we don't follow the basic principles that He's given us to succeed in marriage and relationship?
I still feel like we do. I still feel like we have the right to go to Him and just say, God, look, forgive me. Like I did, I know that this is my fault. Help me fix it.
Yeah.
Help me fix it. What do I do to fix this? Is it fixable, God? Like, tell me, can I fix this? And then you go to your partner and you pray with them. Look, let's pray together. Lord, we want to fix this. Yeah. And you use it in a term of we, us. Never an I. We, us. We want to do this. We feel like this. This is what we did. I know I may have hurt her or I may have hurt him, but God help us to heal this. Help me to keep from doing whatever it is that I'm doing so that I won't hurt him or her. So it's just go together in prayer with it. And I think that softens up the blow. It really does. And especially if you do it, if it doesn't work the first time, it's kind of odd, then go the next time. And the more and more you pray about it, the better and better it'll get, I think.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And I'm glad you broke it down like that, because like one thing we have to remember is the Bible is the standard on all levels. Like, and God knows we're infallible. We're human beings. We're gonna make mistakes, and we're gonna make decisions that go against His will. And that's why we need grace.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I could see how we have to constantly be in prayer to talk about just making sure we're focused on doing not only His word that He has given us, but also the inspiration that He's put in us that's unique for our relationship.
Exactly.
And to make sure we are focused on doing what we feel is right towards each other.
Exactly.
So I can get where you're coming from when you're saying regardless of how you achieve success or like thereof in a relationship, you still should keep a focus on prayer.
You gotta focus on prayer. Like you gotta keep God right there in the center, because that's gonna hold it together. At the end of the day, that's gonna hold it together.
Yeah, and He'll sustain us through prayer, but still like relationships are still like an earthly experience. Like that's why to death do you part. You don't go into perpetuity or into eternity.
Come on now. Sure don't.
Yeah, so it's like you still have to, although He sustains us and guides us in our relationships, we still have to know that we have to develop into being the type of person that the next person is comfortable with.
Exactly. On to the next vows.
All right.
For better, for worse, for richer or for poor.
Did we deal with the money part?
We didn't deal with the money part. We was just like, what? So that just means if he gotta dig a ditch, then girl, you gotta get in there and dig ditches too.
But that's a big part, because money is communication is one of the major issues that people have.
Money is one of the major.
Money is a real true challenge. In a relationship.
Because how do you handle money? Do you save money well? Like one person could be good with finances and the other person may not be.
People are challenged financially, and it's a real thing. You can be spiritually whole, but it takes resources and it takes money to live. It takes currency, it takes resources to pay for homes and to live comfortably on this earth. And you can't get with somebody, or you can't allow somebody to convince you that although they may have what appears to be a real spiritual connection to God, that allows them to kind of chill and be lazy and do all that type of stuff just because they just want to be, and they're not obligated to work to take care of the family, particularly when it comes from a man's perspective.
You just have to figure it out. You want to be equally yoked. You don't want to be with somebody it's like you. I say you want to be equally yoked. But how can you be equally yoked
financially?
That's
Things
true.
Change.
That's true, because money does come and go, and a person could lose their job, and once you get into marriage, a person can lose their job, and then the woman may be making more than the man, so it's
or they can choose not to work. Some people
can choose not to work.
Some people deceive you, and manipulate you into a relationship by working and by providing you with certain
things. And then when you get in, then they like, I ain't working no more.
Things. I don't want to work for the man. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. But y'all married. What do you do?
What do you do? Do you leave him? Nah, you gotta figure that thing out. Y'all gotta compromise.
What if he doesn't want to figure it out?
But you gotta get a job.
Is it all right to stay with a man if he manipulates you into a relationship? If you know blatantly this guy, and some people do that. It's just be honest. I don't know what world you stay in. But the world I stay in, some people are hustlers.
Yeah.
And they need women as nurturers. They need women as psychologists. They have all sorts of problems in their own life and they want a mother, basically,
Yeah.
somebody to be there. So they manipulate them into some type of agreement. Then they hold above their head that, you know, we agreed to be in this marriage and you just can't give up that quickly. You know what I'm saying? In this case, it's like, I may have bought you all those things, but, you know, I had a downturn between jobs and I'm kind of like sitting at the house playing video games or something like that. And you have some grown men in this world that just play video games.
Yeah, you
But
do
it's
have
not-
some grown men that's just sitting at home playing video games all day instead of out at work. And they need to be working. But I guess, you know, as you and I don't even know
Something
what
to think
say.
about.
I
Say
don't
we
even know
should-
what to say.
but
like you in a
that's not my
marriage.
thing though.
No,
but
it's
it's a
not.
lot of
It's not.
people's problem.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. It's a lot of people's problem.
Where the
And
woman goes in to
She
work
doing
and
all
she
the
dropped
work.
the dude off in her
Yes.
car. Well,
And
he
then
dropped her off.
He drops her off at work, and he's gone all day in her car.
Yeah,
and then he had the nerve to pick her up late from work.
Yeah, all in the hood, probably picking up on other girls, but I'm not gonna go with the negative thing. But at
And
the
you
end of the
late
day, just
picking me up, and you
Yeah.
been like, I mean,
it happens. It happens more often than we want to admit.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, for rich or for poor, you gotta hang in that thing. So you gotta think about all of that. So make sure that whoever you choosing, that you know you can see that they will sustain, you know, what it is that you want for yourself. So, but you know, if within the marriage things fall apart, that doesn't mean you can get out. Like you gotta work that thing out. Like work it out.
All right, so for richer and for poor, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish till death do us part.
So, in sickness and in health. So that means we get married, and then what if I have a car accident and you know you say you like my face, like you
Yeah, you're
like
pretty.
looking at my face.
Very, very attractive.
Well, thank
Exquisite.
you, babe.
Beautiful.
Thank you, babe. So,
Tantalizing.
can I go on
All right, go
now?
ahead. Go ahead. I got ahead of myself.
You did. So, and I got burnt like on 10% of my face or something like that. Would you still love me? Like you have to think like that. Would you still love that person? Would you still be with that person? Would you stay with that person even though like they may be distorted or they may get sick? You know, I could, you know, get diabetes. I could get, you know, I mean anything could happen. I could have a stroke and can't walk and he has to push me in a wheelchair. Are you gonna be pushing me, bruh?
Yeah.
Like you gonna push me?
That's a question.
That's a
Oh no, yeah. So this is
You
the
gonna push
thing.
me?
Yeah.
You gonna change my diapers if I need to?
At the end of the day, if I marry you, well, when we get married, I'll put it that way. Talking in face about call those things that be not as
Thank
though they
you.
are. That's a scripture.
Yeah.
The thing is, most people or a lot of people get married to like cynical stuff, like the material part. Like, you know, they become so infatuated with like how people look on the outside to where they don't go in, and you are attracted to a person based on how they look on the outside.
Exactly.
So it draws you
It
in.
draws
It's
you
a
in.
drawer. So
Yes.
there's nothing.
There's nothing
You
wrong
can't
with
get
that.
past that. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with
Yeah,
that.
you
But
need that.
ultimately, you make your decision as to why. One of the main reasons you want to marry somebody is because you have a relationship with who they are on the inside.
Exactly.
Like, and I know it's not always the pleasant thing to want to highlight in a marriage, but it's like you have to have a relationship and you have to see the beauty of the person inside because anything can change about the outside.
That's right.
But the integrity, the morals, the values, and the character, and all the things that make up the person, who make them up for who they are, that's all immaterial stuff.
Exactly.
And that's what you have to fall in love with, because you can't give up on your relationship just because things start to change, because you may not get burnt, but at the end of the day, you're going to grow older.
Yeah, that's right.
And some
And
things,
all that stuff is gonna change.
some people stay attractive to their mate physically over time, and some people draw away from attraction. Things just start to, you know, what was up one day, now hanging down lower, lower the next day, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And some
Yeah.
people are cool with that, and some
Yeah.
people are not.
Yeah. So you want to make sure that the whole for what is it, for rich or for poor? No, in sickness and in health. So you want to
Yeah.
make sure that for the in sickness and in health that you are in love with the person, because you never know what's gonna happen. You might have to take care of them one day.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure that you love them enough where you can be that person's nurse. Because you know what, when people are sick, they are so mean. And you know I know, because I work with sick people all the time.
Yeah.
They are so mean. Like, you are the meanest when you don't feel good, because you don't feel good, you know. So yeah, you gotta really love someone to take care of them.
Right.
Okay, so the next line is, so we did in sickness and health. So to love and to cherish till death do us
I
part.
think that's what, yeah.
Do people, like, we read it, but we didn't talk about it. So to love and to cherish until death do us part. That means you can't go. Like,
Well, all right, so
ain't
that's
gonna
when
hap-
things get complicated.
It
So
ain't-
this is the
it's-
most
it's not an
complicated from my like for,
You in it?
for me. This is the most complicated vow to make because like love is subjective, right? So love has many different meanings. Love for you and love for me may be perceived to be different,
Okay.
and we may respond differently, and we may describe love differently.
Okay.
So it's like I think to love and to cherish is pretty easy because you can cherish somebody. That's one of the easiest things to do when
Yeah.
you are
When
highly
you're
affectionate
highly
or
affectioned. Yeah,
in-
but as
in
time
love.
goes on, are you
Yeah.
still cherishing that person? Like continue years?
Yeah. But I think the challenge really in all of it is just understanding what love means, and you have to be on the same page. It's like you have to ask yourself, like, do you love this person for who they are, or do you love this person for how they make you feel?
That's true.
And then most of us have to be honest and say, like, you know, at the end of the day, we don't love you for who you are. We love you for how you make me feel. And a lot of people, if you stop making them feel that way, then that's when the relationship is challenged. And that's when the marriage is challenged.
Yeah.
And that's how a lot of people get down. But to me, it's like, I don't know how, because love is like so big. Like, when do you know you're fully in love? Because you can grow in love and there's never like walls to love. It's like the more you get it, you know, find yourself in love.
It continues
you
to
become,
go.
Yeah, and you just become, right when you thought you couldn't get more in love, it's like you find something else about this person
Yeah.
that
And
make
you're like,
you feel more
"Oh."
attached.
Yeah. So love and to cherish. That's easy. Till death do us part.
According to God's holy law.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my solemn swear. Vow.
This is my solemn vow. So that's like, God, I promise. Like, God, this is it. Like, God, I'm gonna do this. So it's like, God, that's my solemn vow, and I promise to do all of those things listed. That's so serious. That is so serious. All of those vows are very serious, and they should not be taken lightly. Till death us do part.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's forever. Forever.
Forever, ever. But that's the
Don't
one
know
thing
it.
I'll say is, like, you have to take this whole process super seriously,
Mhm.
and not be totally caught into this infatuation period.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about it. People go into relationships and they tap into like the honeymoon stage.
Yep.
And it's very common for us all to kind of.
And then they gauge their entire relationship off of that honeymoon stage. And it's
And
like, it's okay to call it the honeymoon stage.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's the beginning, and it's okay to call it that.
Yeah.
So that you'll know, like, you can love past that. Really, the real true love doesn't start until after that.
Yeah. Once you start to, so the honeymoon stage, as I see it, is where you know little about the person. You may pick up on his spirit, but ultimately in your mind you conceptualize and you build this perception of how this person is. In your mind is probably more favorable than what that person really is.
Yeah.
So you really love what you see in terms of their spirit or how they look, but you haven't gotten to know them for who they are. Like, you don't know their habits, you don't know what make them sad, you don't know what make them frustrated,
Yeah,
you don't know what make them happy, you don't know anything, you don't know how personality clashes can come into play in all of it.
That's true.
And it's like you have to get past, you can't determine like where your relationship is based on like the honeymoon stage, because now you got to move like away from that into like the actual getting to know the person. We shouldn't try to make our relationships too complicated. Just know y'all human, we all gonna make mistakes.
Yeah,
and things are gonna happen. You can live through it.
That's right.
Just be fair and
That's
honest,
right.
and
That's
you know,
right.
don't be so quick to step out. Be
That's
respectful to your relationship.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying?
And don't be
'Cause
too
it's not gonna
quick
always
to
be
quit.
rosy.
Yeah, and don't be too quick to quit. Like, don't be quick to quit. Stay in there, hang in, try to work it out, pray about it, and take the vows seriously. Like, take them seriously. So if you are like us and you are dating with a purpose, like, because we are dating to see it all the way
it's
to
like
the
the
end, to
church
get
on
married.
purpose, like dating with a purpose. That's your ministry, a church.
Don't put me in that. Don't not put
Pray
me in
on
that.
it. You know, I'll get slain in the spirit on it.
Okay.
You know, when my prayers go up, God be like, move out the way.
What?
Brian prayers coming through.
What?
Watch out, let him he the real deal.
Your prayers
I'll be like,
prevail.
yeah, yep,
Whatever.
Yep, y'all get out the way. All these make-believe
Don't put-
prayers, watch out. Brian is praying.
Don't put that on me, but yeah, y'all. So hang in there, take it seriously. Those vows are very, very, very serious, as we've said a number of times. And you know, people ask us all the time, when y'all getting married? When y'all getting engaged? That's your husband. Like, I think I hear it at least maybe twice a day, and I'm not exaggerating. maybe like twice a day. So I'm like, yeah, I can see that, but you know, we want to date and kind of work on this thing, and we take those vows really seriously. So y'all, leave a comment down below. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so marriage doesn't start at the point of making those vows. Marriage starts as a reflection of your character, as how you treat each other prior to those vows are taken. You're not going to get to a wedding day and decide that, oh, we was friends, or we just outside of like what God says, like you know, sex or whatever the case may be. But in terms of building a relationship, building the connection, that started way before the vows. That's just to solidify the fact that we know we want to put a covenant over this relationship. So you should know prior to if I get on my knee, when I get on my knee.
Thank you.
I should know then.
Yeah.
That and prior to, like, you are my wife.
Exactly.
And then God should have put in my spirit that you have the tendencies, you have what it takes to be my wife way before I even come into that knowledge, because I have to feel within my spirit when I see you, like, this person is my wife. You know what I'm saying? But then I have to grow into the knowledge of it.
That's true.
Because you have to, you just can't say to somebody like, this is my wife, because your wife, like those characteristics you see right away can be in several people. So it's it's gonna grab your attention. And you're gonna think this is my wife. You can't get too carried away right away. Because those characteristics might be in several people. But it's more that has to be discerned and more that has to be learned for you to know specifically, like, all right.
That's a word.
Like, now I had the spirit tell me, like, there's certain things that that I'm connected to in this person, but now I'm growing into the knowledge of, like, we can work together, we can become a partner in life.
And sometimes that takes situations, like, you don't know if you can work together, you don't know if you can overcome arguments, like, you don't know any of that until that stuff actually happens. And that stuff has to happen during the dating process. Like, you can't just jump out there and say, oh, I'm about to get married, let's get married. All right, you guys, so if you guys have any questions, if there is anything that you guys would like for us to discuss, leave a comment down below, because we love having these types of discussions about relationships. So if it's something that you want to know, if there's some advice that you need, something you want to ask me and Brian, then let us know down below in the comments. As he said before, we are not relationship experts by any means. We are just experts in life. Like, we've lived it, we've been through a lot, and so we love to have these conversations. So leave a comment down below and let us know what you would like to hear us talk about in the next reflections video, dating over 40. And so until then, we'll see y'all.
Good job. Good job, baby. Good job. Talk. Well, no, I talk more than you this time. I tried. All right.
Bye,
Stop. That's enough on that.